morning, I'm Agustín Zepeda for NewZtar Intelligence. Here is your global briefing for Saturday, May 30, 2026. Iran has reportedly shot down a US fighter jet using what intelligence sources believe is a Chinese-made missile. President Trump convened emergency situation room meetings, but has not yet announced a military response. Iran claims the administration is making excessive demands and stalling diplomatic negotiations. But here is where the coverage diverges. American media emphasizes the fighter jet downing and potential Chinese weapons involvement. Russian and Chinese state media frame Trump as the aggressor unwilling to negotiate, while completely omitting details about the downed aircraft and any Chinese missile connection. A significant Ebola outbreak is intensifying in the Democratic Republic of Congo, with the WHO chief personally visiting the epicenter in Bunia. Kenya's courts have blocked U.S. plans to establish a quarantine center for American Ebola patients on African soil. The New York Times reports the outbreak is raging with little to stop it. But here is where the coverage diverges. American media, particularly the New York Times, portrays a near-catastrophic situation, with systems failing. Russian and Chinese state media show virtually no coverage of this major African health emergency despite its global implications. Fox News has reached a settlement with Dominion Voting Systems in the major defamation case. The network acknowledged that some of its on-air claims about Dominion were false. Dominion still has pending lawsuits against individual election deniers including Rudy Giuliani and Sidney Powell. But here is where the coverage diverges. American media outlets like CNN provide extensive coverage of the settlement, and Fox's admission of broadcasting falsehoods. Fox News itself completely omits this major legal settlement from its own headline coverage, while international outlets show minimal to no attention. Israeli forces have escalated ground operations deep into southern Lebanon, with troops now reaching the city of Nabatea. This represents a significant expansion of the military campaign beyond the border region. The operation comes amid continued tensions along Israel's northern frontier, but here is where the coverage diverges. American and European outlets focus primarily on the military operation details and strategic implications. Middle Eastern media emphasizes the humanitarian impact on Lebanese civilians, while Russian and Chinese state media provide minimal coverage despite regional escalation risks. A major building has collapsed in Delhi, India, trapping multiple people in the rubble. Emergency rescue operations are currently underway with crews working to reach survivors. The cause of the collapse is under investigation as authorities assess the structural failure. But here is where the coverage diverges. Indian media outlets provide extensive on-the-ground coverage with rescue operation details and local context. American and European outlets offer only limited breaking news coverage, treating this as a regional rather than international story. More than 3,000 protests have been documented worldwide against U.S. military strikes on Iran. The demonstrations span multiple continents, with particularly large gatherings in Europe and the Middle East. Chinese state media is prominently featuring the protest movement in its international coverage. But here is where the coverage diverges. Chinese state media prominently features these protests as evidence of global opposition to American military action, reporting over 3,000 demonstrations. American and European outlets provide significantly less coverage of the anti-war movement and have not independently verified these protest numbers. That is your NewZtar Intelligence briefing for Saturday, May 30, 2026. News in every angle, every morning. I'm Agustín Zepeda. Stay informed.